we're going to continue working on our Calder sculpture. Over his lifetime, Calder made hundreds of sculptures out of wire and metal. Last time, we looked at 4 sculptures made by Calder for different cities. You might have observed that each sculpture is painted one single color, and we are going to do the same for our own sculpture. Last time we painted our shapes white. This time we're going to use the same process to paint them a color. Here is a chart of available colors for you to choose from. Pick one color that you would like to use for your entire sculpture. Let me know so I can get you the paint that you need. Be sure that your work surface is covered with a protective piece of white paper so that you don't get paint on your desk. Remember that acrylic paint is permanent and dries like plastic, so if you get any paint on your clothes, you need to clean it right away. Paint one side of each of your pieces. Remember to paint until there is no paint left in your brush. That way you'll make sure you have only a thin layer of paint on each piece. It'll dry way faster. When you're done with your first side, take a look at it and see if it needs a second coat. This one is patchy, so it needs another coat, another layer of paint. Can you see the difference between this one that got a second coat and this one that didn't? When you're finished with all your second coats, it's time to start on the edges and the other side. Be sure to give your paint plenty of time to dry in between coats. This side is still shiny. That means it's not quite dry yet, so I need to wait before painting the back of this one. This one is also still shiny. I don't want it to stick to my paper, so I'm going to need to wait. And same with this one. Check your pieces and see if you need a second coat. If you needed a second coat on the first side, it is highly likely that you need a second coat on the back side. You do not need to do a second coat on your edges. Don't forget to paint your scraps, including both sides and edges, and one side of your base. Remember the importance of cleanup with acrylic paint. As soon as you're done painting, put your brush immediately into a cup of water and let it sit. While you wait, dip the corner of a rag in your water and wipe out your paint cup. Now use a dry corner of the rag to clean the rest of the paint out. You may have paint on the outside of your cup like I do. Use the wet corner of your rag to scrub that paint off too. You can dip your rag in the water again to get the paint off your fingers and off your table if you have any paint on the table. Now turn your attention to your paintbrush that's been sitting in that water. Tap it on the bottom of your cup and swirl it around. Look for any signs of paint that are still on your brush, and if you see them, continue tapping and swirling. Once the signs of paint are gone, your brush may be cloudy. That's a sign for you to change your water and continue cleaning. When the water that comes out of your brush is clear and colorless, it's clean. You can put it to the side to use later.